everyone, it is Kathleen and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a wonderful, magical day. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you're not. So I was bored a couple of days ago. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you can relate. We're staying at home trying to flatten the curve to prevent the spread of COVID. Hope you're doing your part, hope you're staying home and not going out partying. Please stay at home if you can. Thank you to those who cannot stay home. Anyway, so I was bored, I was on TikTok, so I decided to ask both my TikTok following and my Instagram following to give me all of your Harry Potter questions, and I'll do a Harry Potter Q&A, so here we are today. Most of these questions, spoiler, are from TikTok. I have a couple from Instagram. I have categorized the questions. Obviously Instagram's its own category because I only got 2 questions, but TikTok I kind of categorized it into different genres of questions, so that's what we're doing today. But before we get into the video, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button and add a little more Lumos to your day. And leave me a comment down below and, I don't know, ask me, if you haven't asked me, didn't get a chance to ask me a Harry Potter question, ask me a Harry Potter question down below and I'll try to answer all the ones I can. So yeah, I'm gonna stop blabbering and let's get straight into the video. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize for the lens flare in my glasses. Last Friday, I woke up with pink eye. Thought staying at home would keep from getting sick, but I guess the pink eye has a longer incubation period than I thought. I work with tiny muggles, so they have lots of germs, so that's why I'm wearing my glasses today, but yeah, apologies for the lens flare. So anyway, let's get straight to these questions. I'm going to try not to ramble as much as I usually do. Sorry, that's a me thing. I just go on long tangents. I think that's just a family thing. My mom does it. Maybe it's just a southern thing. I don't know. Anyway, let's get to the questions. So these are from Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and do those first since there's only 2. And it's from the same user. So Farting Fingers, great username, asked if you could choose which one dies, Harry, Hermione, and Ron, who would you choose? It's so hard because I love the Golden Trio. I guess we can go with Harry because he already was a boy who lived twice, so why not try 3 times? And Farting Fingers also wants to know what type of villain is Voldemort? A very stupid one that's too dependent on magic, because if the magic didn't work on Harry Potter, an infant, why not, you know, do it the not magic way, you know? There's other ways to handle things without magic, but I guess he wouldn't think that. So he's a really stupid villain is what I'm getting at. Now let's get into the TikTok questions. So the first category of questions that I'll be answering are more generic questions slash questions about my favorites. A lot of people ask these same questions, so I'm not going to say every person who asked this question, sorry, but know that I saw your question and I just put in this category because I figured it was easy to do it all just generic. So yeah, let's get into these. One popular question was, what is my Hogwarts house? I am a, Gryffindor. Yes, I am a Gryffindor. A lot of my friends argue that I'm a Hufflepuff, but I'm very attached to Gryffindor, so that's where I feel I belong. What is my Patronus? So according to Pottermore, it is a dappled gray mare, which is a type of horse. I think that's okay. If I could choose my Patronus, I would choose a panda. They're one of my favorite animals. I think that'd be pretty cool. What is my favorite book from the series? I would say my favorite book, it used to be Prisoner of Azkaban, but I think currently it's Half-Blood Prince because I love background stories for villains or characters. I don't know, I like flashbacks in a book. Maybe not everybody does, but I do. I'm rambling. Who is my favorite professor? Professor Minerva McGonagall. I mean, who else would be my favorite professor? She is a badass and I love her so much. I want to be her every day. Sorry, got some hair in my lip gloss. Who is my favorite character? That was also a popular question. My favorite character, I guess overall, would be Hermione Granger. She is just perfect and I love her and I relate to her so much, and her story and her personal growth spoke volumes to me. So yeah, I mean, do I really need a reason for Hermione to be my favorite character? What is my favorite spell? Well, if you didn't notice, my YouTube handle name is Living Lumos. So my favorite spell is Lumos. I think that Lumos stands for much more than just the wand lighting charm. Yeah. And the last one, which I will say who asked me this, freaking K3 Sisters Band asked me, and if you don't know who they are, you might recognize them from their music video, or they are a band. They do make their own music, but they do a lot of singing videos on TikTok and Harry Potter singing videos at that, so you might recognize them from those. If you saw them singing, I would post one, but I don't want to get copyright for Harry Potter music or anything. But yeah, if you aren't, go follow their TikTok and their YouTube. I think they're so cute and they are very talented. But anyway, I'm gonna stop fangirling about one of my favorite Harry Potter creators and TikTok people asking me a question. What is your favorite Harry Potter quote? That is the question. And I have a lot of favorite quotes. It's really hard to pinpoint just one, but I think one that really comes to mind is from Albus Dumbledore. It is not due to dwell on dreams and forget to live. I think that's a very relatable quote and something to live by. So yeah, that is it for the generic question/favorites questions. Now let's move on to the very large list in this category that I call the specific questions specifically about the books, about the fandom, just kind of a mishmash of a lot of things. So let's get into this. Maddie S. Seeley 0809 wants to know, if I was headmaster, what would I do to Umbridge? The things I would do. I think I would conveniently, is Fluffy still on Hogwarts property? Is he still in that third floor corridor locked up? If so, I would tell her that that's where Dumbledore's army is meeting in floor 3 corridor, and see what happens if Fluffy's still there. A little devious. Marcus7233 asks, would you rather be a student or a teacher at Hogwarts? I think I would want to be a teacher, because then I would have access to everything. I wouldn't have to have permission to go into the restricted section of the library. I could explore the castle at my leisure. So I think that would be the ultimate choice for me. And I typed out all the questions on my computer, so that's why I'm looking over here. Slytherin the Original asked, if you were a teacher at Hogwarts, what would you teach? Now that's a good question. I think that I would probably be, teach music or choir at Hogwarts, because one of my degrees is in music, and I think that doing like the frog choir and other musical instruments and stuff, I think that would be a real fun job at Hogwarts. This one's a pretty good one. King of Werewolves, appropriate name once you hear the question. What does lycanthropy, is it lycanthropy or lycanthropy? I think it's lycanthropy. What does lycanthropy symbolize in Harry Potter? Now, I know that I heard a rumor from the interwebs that J.K. Rowling herself has revealed that it represents kind of like the AIDS epidemic back in the 80s, early 90s. So it symbolizes, it was always met with shame. AIDS was met with shame, and people were shunned. They were losing their jobs. And correct me if that's an internet myth, but I think that it can represent that, but it can also represent a lot of other things. It can represent just being gay, because there are parents who don't want their kids to be taught by gay teachers. It could represent lots of shameful things, something that's surrounded with a lot of shame and taboo in society. So I think it in general, taboo in society. Things that we don't want to talk about, and we just kind of push to the side and shame people who want to talk about it. So, does that answer your question? I Am Luna Lovegood asked me if I could change one part, or if I could have changed a story, what would I have changed? I think I would change Fred dying, which will probably is going to come into play with a lot of the other questions later on. But I would probably keep Fred alive. Kinda Cool Kenzie asks, is Snape good or bad in my opinion? Now, see, that's a complicated question because he's written to be a very complex character. But in my opinion, no, he is not a good person. He is bad in my opinion. It doesn't matter that he loved Lily and he was protecting Harry for Lily. Don't forget, he bullied other students. Neville Longbottom, if you haven't read the books, or if you do, you might, and if you didn't read the books, you'll remember in Prisoner of Azkaban when they're doing Boggarts, Professor Snape is Neville's Boggart. His biggest fear is his teacher. Say all you want about Snape and redemption arcs and everything, but I will never forget that Neville was so terrified of his teacher that he was his biggest fear because he was so bullied by him. That's all I gotta say. Anna, or Anna, however you pronounce this. Sorry if I butcher your handles. If you could be any Harry Potter character, who would you be? I mean, my first answer would be Hermione because she's a badass queen, but also Minerva McGonagall, so one of those two. Now these are gonna be, they're inspecific questions, but these are specifically about deaths and stuff like that. Obviously, I should probably say at the beginning, but if you're watching, you know there's gonna be spoilers if people are asking me questions, so. Spoiler warning, sorry. If you could bring back one person, who would it be and why? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and ask, that was Mazda DB and Great Dane Friend who asked that question, but that weird girl's friend also asked, would you bring back Fred or Snape? And my person I would bring back is Fred, so I figured I'd just do those two questions and take care of it. I would bring Fred back because George needs his other half. Stupid Little Slytherin 4 asks, if you could only bring one back, would it be Sirius or Dobby? I would probably bring Sirius back. I love Dobby, but I feel like Sirius was, and Remus also, but Sirius was Harry's closest thing he had to his father James, one of his father's best friends. So I think Sirius would be one I bring back. What was the saddest Harry Potter death? And that is asked by Bridie Mitchell H. Pooney. I'm sorry if I'm butchering this. The saddest death to me, I mean, obviously Fred. I mean, I think that one is super sad, but I think the saddest death to me was Tonks and Lupin, because I love them together as much as a couple, and basically little Teddy Lupin became an orphan in the blink of an eye, just like Harry did all those years ago. So I was really sad when Tonks and Lupin died. Alright, some more lighthearted questions. It's Ash 2009 asks, when did you first start watching Harry Potter? I actually saw the first movie when I was in first grade. A family friend of mine took me to go see Sorcerer's Stone in theaters with their daughters. And that's what started this whole love, obsession, fascination with Harry Potter. And here I am now. Holy crap, I'm 26 now, and I was like 6 or 7 when the movie came out. So I have been a Harry Potter fan for like 20 years. Wow, I am old. But anyway, so that's pretty cool actually. I didn't even think about it like that. Huh. So yeah, 20 years ago. Harry Potter fan 02 asked, what is my least favorite book? This one's really hard because I love all the books, but if I had one that was my least favorite, it would probably be Order of the Phoenix. It's a really big chunk of book to get through, and it's hard to get through because angsty Harry, I know that, like, you know, he's been through a lot of trauma, so he's going to be angsty, but it was just a lot to get through. So Order of the Phoenix, a lot of it's important to the plot, but it's really a hard book to get through. I don't know why I keep doing this. Just to let you know exactly how big a book is. Emily J09 asked, who would you ask to the Yule Ball? Let's see. I think I would ask Neville to the Yule Ball. I love the scene in the movie where in Goblet of Fire where he's practicing his dancing steps. I think that was so cute. I think Neville would be a really sweet date, so I would probably go with Neville. Harry Potter fan asked, did you cry when a character died? Yes, I cried when Fred died in the books and in the movie, but I also cried when Cedric died. Mostly that scene in the movie Goblet of Fire when Amos Diggory sees his son's body and just breaks down crying. That was such a gut-wrenching scene, and I cry every time I see it, so there you go. Aubrey Kate Newton wants to know, which would you marry, Snape, Harry, Voldemort, or Dumbledore? I feel like you're kind of setting me up there because I'm not going to marry Snape because he bullies children. Obviously not Voldemort because he is racist and a bigot. And Dumbledore would not be interested in me because I am a girl. So I guess I have to marry Harry, even though I feel like he's a little arrogant, but not too much. I don't know. Demogorgon Dude 32, awesome handle there. Who was the best Defense Against Dark Arts professor? I would say, in my opinion, the best Defense Against Dark Arts professor was Remus Lupin. I loved him. He was the only one that didn't purposely try to kill Harry, but I think he was a great teacher because he really cared about his students. I think that's what marks a great teacher, is a care for the students and their well-being. And I think I don't know. Didn't really need much of a reason because Lupin's awesome. So, what would your wand be like? And that was asked by Ellie Potter. So obviously I have a lot of wands. I have the one that chose me from Ollivanders. I'm too lazy to go get up and get it. I have one that I bought myself that I use as my wand, and an interactive one I bought that I think is more like my wand. You'll probably see it in a lot of my videos. But if I could choose my wand, like in the wizarding world, I think the core would be a Thunderbird feather, because that's one of my favorite fantastic beasts. I'm a Thunderbird in the Thunderbird in my Ilvermorny house. So it would have that. I love dark wood, so maybe I'd have oak wood, maybe, or walnut wood. The material, and I think it would be something whimsical, kind of like the one on my Pottermore, where it kind of like has a little like wavy tip to it and some like intricate handle. And I'd love to have like a quartz crystal at the end, because I loved how in Fantastic Beasts a lot of the like Queenie's wand and Seraphina's wand had those really neat crystals and pearlescent things at the end. So I think I'd like quartz at mine. So that would be my ideal wand. This is gonna be a long video, I'm sorry. Okay, so Coconut Shreds asked me, what is my boggart? My boggart is letting other people down. I am so terrified of disappointing people and failing and stuff like that. So yeah, if I had to choose, so small Tato, is that how you say it? Asked if you had to choose a certain character out of all the movies. Oh, I think the question was, I think I mistyped this. If you had to choose a certain character to take out of all the movies, who would it be and why? So a character to remove from the movies or the movies they were in. I'm gonna say Jenny. Now hear me out. Let's take out movie Jenny. Bonnie Wright is a fabulous actress, but the directors and the story writing made her so boring in the movies. I would take out movie Ginny and replace her with book Ginny. So everybody who has not read the books and only seen the movies understands why Henny is the best ship and why they work so well together as a couple, Harry and Ginny. Sorry, I didn't mean to get so heated, but they did Ginny such a disservice in the movie, so I would take out movie Ginny, replace her with book Ginny. Moving on. Lot A Slitherpuff asks me, do I prefer the movies or the books? Obviously, I'm going to say the books because there's a lot of information in them that really adds to the story, character development that you don't see in the movies, and characters that play a bigger role in the books than they do in the movies. There's a lot of things better about the books than the movies, but I do love the movies so much because it brought the magic of Hogwarts alive. I love this name. It's very topical. COVID-19 Glow Up asks me, in your opinion, what is Hermione's most famous line? I wish I could find my graduation cap from college that I decorated. I think it's in a box in the attic somewhere. But my quote that I used from her, and it's my favorite line, and I think it's her most famous line. Ha, books and cleverness. But there are more important things. Friendship and bravery. I really love that quote. It's from The Sorcerer's Stone. And I think that really describes life. It's important to be book smart, but there's a lot more important things, which is friendship and having courage and bravery. So that's my favorite line, and I think it's her most famous line. Amelia Aquino 57 asks, if you went to Hogwarts, which class would be your favorite and least favorite? I'd say my favorite would probably be Charms, because that's what you're going to wizard school for, to learn magic. So Charms would be my favorite class, and also I think Professor Flitwick would be a fun professor. Let's see, my least favorite class? I would say probably arithmancy, because I don't want to deal with, I don't know, it sounds boring to me. Sounds like something that I probably wouldn't use. It wouldn't be something practical I would use in my everyday magical life. Tonks One Fan asked, which Hogwarts founder would you be? Now, I know that I am a Gryffindor, but I would not be Godric Gryffindor because he seems pretty arrogant and kind of like a jock, and that is not my vibe. I would probably be Helga Hufflepuff. I love baking, and I'm someone that is very accepting and likes to include everyone. So I guess Helga Hufflepuff. Am I Hufflepuff? I don't know. Nick Oceanico. I'm really sorry. It'll be listed. Who is your least favorite Marauder and why? Peter Pettigrew. No explanation needed. Z2709 asks, if you were fighting in the Battle of Hogwarts, would you fight Voldemort? I wouldn't be fighting him directly, but I would be fighting with Dumbledore's army and everybody at Hogwarts. I don't think I would be taking him on. I think what I would be doing is going around the castle, making sure that every young underage wizard wasn't trapped and was able to get out. That's probably what I would do. I would just be making sure all the young ones are protected and okay. If you were in Slytherin, would you be a Death Eater? And no, because not all Slytherins are Death Eaters. OMG It's Bella 207 asks, what character would you like to meet in real life? I think the character I'd like to meet in real life would probably be Luna Lovegood. I don't know, I'd really just like to hear. I like talking to people who see the world in a different way, and I feel like a conversation with her would be so fascinating, and she'd be so kind. Blue Swimmer 2267 asks, who is your favorite Hufflepuff? Without a doubt, Newt Scamander. I am obsessed with there's only 2 movies obviously out of Fantastic Beasts, the 5-movie series about the fight against Grindelwald, but I am obsessed with Newt Scamander. I think he is so wonderful, so adorable, and such a cute Hufflepuff. In real life though, my favorite Hufflepuffs are my friend Kobe, who I've done collaborations with, and Noah Tint, who I've done collaborations with. So yeah, you should follow them both. I'm actually going to be doing another video with Kobe pretty soon, I think. So thumbs up for that. So yeah, those are my favorite Hufflepuffs, both in the Wizarding world and in this world, in the Harry Potter community. Now we are finally through that long list of specific questions, and I gave a section for ship questions or shipping questions because they were a couple, and I figured I would give them their own little section. So I'm probably gonna mispronounce this. Dastic Dinkle Broshan, whatever, asks, do you ship Wolfstar? Which, if you're not aware, which you would be if you're watching this video, that is the Sirius Remus ship, and I do ship them very hard. I love every headcanon fan fiction thing I read, talking about, you know, them being a couple, and I think it's adorable, and I think they balance each other out very well. So yes, I do ship Wolfstar, but I still love Tonks and Lupin together, canon-wise. Bearbrooks01234 asks, do you ship Draco and Hermione? No, because I am a huge Hermione stan. I love Ron and Hermione together. They are almost my favorite ship. Well, they're my favorite canon ship, which we'll get to that in a minute. L4RRIE, I'm just going to say that because I don't know if it's Larry or Lori or what. Do you ship Drary? Yes and no. I love Henny so much because in the books, obviously, it makes more sense. But I do like the idea of Drary. I like the idea that it would give Draco the redemption arc he was so robbed of by J.K. Rowling. I don't know why he didn't get a redemption arc. I think he was more deserving of it than Snape. But I would only ship Drary if that would give him a redemption arc. And the last one in this section, both Sophie Potterhead and HP Ninja Go Forever both asked me what is my favorite ship. My favorite canon ship is Hermione, Ron and Hermione, and my favorite headcanon ship, like my favorite ship that I personally do, I love Luna and Neville. I don't know if there's a fandom name for their ship, but I've always shipped Neville and Luna, and I was kind of devastated they didn't end up together. So y'all had a few trivia questions for me, I guess to test my Harry Potter knowledge. Oh, hello there, 51 asks, what department does Arthur Weasley work in at the Ministry of Magic? He works in the Misuse of Muggle Artifacts department. More Insane Every Day asks, what is Luna's middle name? Or anyone else's middle names. I don't know Luna's middle name, but I do know Harry James Potter, Hermione Jean Granger, and Ron Bilious Weasley, which is hilarious. And obviously all of Harry's kids' names, Lily Luna, James Sirius, and Albus Severus, the worst of all. That's what I know. If you know Luna's middle name, leave it in the comments. I might give you a shout out for the trivia because I haven't done trivia in a while for y'all. Mr. Igny or M Rigney 396 asks, how many stairs are there in Hogwarts? Let's see, let me do the math. Invisible calculator. A lot. There's a lot of stairs at Hogwarts. If you know a specific number, let me know down below if you know a specific number. I just don't. Do I need to turn in my Potterhead card? And in this one, I'm not sure if it counts as a trivia question. I just put it here. Pisces Girl wants to know, why is Harry Potter's scar the shape it is? And that is because the Killing Curse of Abracadabra, the wand movement is a lightning bolt. It's the shape of the lightning bolt in the movie. That's basically the explanation that I can give. Now, this is a section called miscellaneous questions, or questions I just wanted to put last because I like them so much. This one is asked by HTTPS Ashley. What if Dumbledore wore jeans? I don't know. I'm just visualizing it right now. I don't think that Dumbledore would pull them off very well. No, I don't. They would cramp his very opulent style, very eclectic style. Das Dinkle Roshan. So he also asked again. He also asked me, where is Voldy's nose? I think it fell off on Horcrux 3 or 4. I think that's where it went. Kia Lottie 311 asks, does anybody else always think of how Harry would have been if Lily and James didn't die, and how many siblings he would have? And now I'm sad. But yes, I do think of that. I think about if Harry had grown up in a non-abusive household. But I also think that he would be a completely different person. I don't think he'd be as empathetic as he was. I think he'd be he'd probably be pretty arrogant, not only being raised by James, but also his godfather Sirius. I don't know. I think that he also probably would have grown up in a different world, because Voldemort would have come to power a lot sooner. So everything happens for a reason, but he definitely shouldn't have grown up in an abusive household, though. Dumbledore, explain. Mom's account asks, if you made Nosy, what would their name be and what house would they be in? I actually have made an original character. Her name is Willow Foster. She is a Gryffindor, and I've only done a couple of TikToks of her. If you'd like to see more of Willow's story, let me know. I have her whole story planned out, just haven't gotten around to filming a lot of it on TikTok. But yeah, let me know down below if you'd like to see more of Willow Foster and more of her story. But one part of the story is that she did fight in the Battle of Hogwarts. She is in the same year as Ginny, and she was bullied and ends up becoming a big sister to the underclassmen of Hogwarts because of that. So that's her story thus far that I've told. HTTPS Ashley also asked me, how do you think Hogwarts is handling Corona? Probably as piss poorly as they did the basilisk in the chambers, or not the basilisk, but the mudblood petrifications in Chamber of Secrets. They did a terrible job of that. They waited until like so many kids got petrified before wanting to close the school. It was ridiculous. And on the same note, Stupid Singa Duh asked, does coronavirus exist at Hogwarts? Who has it? I would say that yeah, it exists, because I know that Newt Scamander, actually, I think it'd be a specific strand of it specifically for wizard kind, because Newt Scamander in the first Fantastic Beasts movie mentions that wizard physiology is a lot different than muggle physiology, but I think that wizards still get sick, so I think coronavirus would probably mutate and it'd be more of a magical disorder. And who has it? Actually, I think that would be the Muggleborns that have it and brought it back to Hogwarts, because they were in the Wizarding world, or in the Muggle world during like Christmas break or whatever, and that's how it spreads. I think that's what it would be, and I think it might fuel I think I'm just blabbering at this point, but I think it might fuel the tension between purebloods and Muggleborns, maybe. I don't know. That's just my raw thoughts as they come out of my head. So yes, I think it exists at Hogwarts, and who has it? Probably the Muggleborns, but they're spreading it to everybody else, and it's mutating in order to infect the those who don't have Muggle blood. So that is it for this video. I know it was probably pretty long. I mean, I've had long videos on here before, but I wanted to answer as many questions as possible. I think I answered them all, but if I didn't answer your question, I'm sorry. Or if I didn't, put your handle in, because I combined, you know, just the most popular questions in the first category. I'm sorry, just an easy way to do it, but I appreciate all of you for submitting your questions and for participating. It was awesome. I was not expecting that many responses. It was a very pleasant surprise, so I'm always astounded by how awesome the Potterhead community is, and I feel lucky that you guys accept me in the Potterhead community. And yeah, getting sappy right now. I'm in you know, I'm staying at home and I'm a little crazy. I miss my job a lot, so it feels nice not to feel so alone, even though I'm alone in my room right now. But it feels nice not to feel so alone because I have the Potterhead community surrounding me. So thank you for helping me in this time. So yeah, if you have any other questions for me, be sure to leave those down below in the comments. Thank you for giving me Lumos in this crazy dark world and bringing Lumos to my life. And let's continue to live Lumos every day. Bye.